Django is a creation by Tim Cogshell, who's an NPR film critic, and of course Sherman Augustus, who's an actor. He's been in the industry for 30 years, and he's one of the co-writers or co-creators. I helped basically do the entire comic book production, managed it, and now we publish it. It's supposedly going to be pitched to Netflix or Amazon, one of the streaming companies, to turn into a series. And so we just did our Kickstarter, and hopefully that will continue to progress, and it has been. The comic book is actually, imagine Charlie's Angels and then Django Unchained combined. And it's about three daughters who look for their father, Django. And it's takes place in 1918. They have run-ins with all sorts of nasty characters, even including the Ku Klux Klan. So, and it's kind of there's elements of that Quentin Tarantino rewriting history element. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but it's well written. I love how the comic book works. And it's drawn by Zach Atkinson, who's a great artist and friend of mine, and we're looking forward to getting it out on Kickstarter and distributing our comic books. Yeah, and then this one's one of my favorites, and it's called The Rescuer, and we're working on our fourth chapter. And it's about a kind of a superhero. We gotta have a superhero, but this guy's his heart's very vulnerable. I never liked a lot of the superheroes that seem to be two-dimensional. They never can get killed. He's more like Spider-Man, in that he's more human and relatable. So we tried to do that, but we also tried to make sure it was current events. One of them we don't want to get too political, but there was a statement about the Ukraine war, and then here didn't say it was Gaza, but we're talking about the Gaza hostage situation. It goes, of course, and tries to rescue hostages. But it's most of the story is about humanitarian aspects of to rescue people, and what happens to people who are unsuccessful when they don't rescue someone. Like, imagine the fireman who tries to rescue people out of a building and they're dead already. So that kind of psychological trauma that could occur. So yeah, these are one of my favorites. Now, the work, Labor of Love, this is the Labor of Love. This is called Genesis 2. It took me 3 years to finish this book, and there's a lot of reasons why it took 3 years, but mainly it was my first one that I've ever done. I worked with another artist named Christian Bow, and let me tell you, doing a 130-page graphic novel can be a real burnout, and it's hard for the artist, and it's hard to keep things rolling along. But it's about two childhood friends who are scientists, and they grow up in the typical dystopian future. And he actually does 3 hybrid animals, and they are his protectors, but they are also, in essence, his superheroes. And so it's a sci-fi, and it's for teens. There's nothing too gritty or bloody in it. So I enjoyed writing this book, and I love the animal characters that Christian and I created. So a fun thing to read. So yeah.
So what was your role in creating these?
In this one, I did the storyboards. Christian and I came up with the characters. I wrote most of the story. Christian did most of the art. So we kind of divided and conquered through the whole thing. But it was tough because we really didn't know what we were doing. So, but I'm very proud of it. In the end, we had other artists help us finish the book. And it's again, sometimes you want to finish something, you set out to finish it, and it's hard work, but I'm glad I'm done. So it's great.
So in addition to these, which are for older readers, you have some comic books for younger readers.
Yes, we have. I have a book called Luna, and it's I'll grab it over here. And we have kids books. So we have ones. This is for kids who are 4 to 6 years old, and it's about basically, yeah, it's about a cat that's able to go to the moon with his astronaut owner. So we had a lot of fun doing this one. My friend Mike Beamister and his partner Selena Tankoy wrote it on the back of a napkin, literally, and then I produced it, and an artist, a friend of mine, John Jar Rodriguez, finished the art. He actually watercolored all the pages, and we did use Photoshop to correct it. So some of the tricks of the trade.
Now, in addition to making all these comic books, you're also a musician. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I've always loved music. I always liked singing. Actually this year, I went on tour in India and Dubai, and I'm my own label, so I self-funded. But 2 of my songs hit #1 on World Indie Radio.
Oh, great.
That was great. And then in August, I found out I was submitted for a Grammy nomination. And I don't know if anyone's aware, I'm not nominated yet. I'll find out November 8th, but it was for Best Pop Solo Performance. So I try to stay busy. In the meantime, I take care of my 91-year-old mom, and I have a physical therapy business in Northern California. And I just got married on Thursday, so it's been, yeah, it was great, overdue. And I'm just happy that things are moving in the right direction. So yeah, thank you.
So then, how you have your day job, you have physical therapy, and then you're doing these things on the side. How do you find the time to work on these and especially like manage things so that you are able to make these things without going broke? Because I know a lot of artists struggle with that.
I work very hard. I've been doing it for decades. So you you amass capital or resources, and then when it's time, you want to play. So I know I've worked hard, and now I'm playing hard. But the key to being able to do so many different things is also to delegate to the right people. And that's also an art in itself, because you can delegate to the wrong person, which I've done too. We've all made mistakes, and then learn from your mistakes and then keep pushing forward. So I have a lot of very mindful colleagues who are helping me in this endeavor. So yeah.
Or do you have any upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Trying to come up with a great way to do a smaller live show using animation, combining animation, all my cartoon characters, and me as a live performer. So I would have to choreograph whatever I'm doing to be able to interact with my cartoon characters. So I'm working on that. That's not going to happen for about a year.
Great, I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Now, how can our viewers find out more about you and support your work?
2 ways. I mean, I have a website that's gen7creations.com or gen7comics.com. It's GEN number 7 and then comics or creations.com. You can also look me up at allenlangmusic.com, which is ALLENLING music.com.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope that our viewers go out and read your comics.
I sure hope so. The comics are cool. The music is, we'll see what happens. November 8th, I'll find out whether I'm nominated for a Grammy or not. But either way, it was a good ride. So, thank you.
Thank you.